and gentlemen, welcome back to the Big Four Podcast. Really tough break for us this week. Alex is unable to be with us, but we'll go pull through.
It's unfortunate. He brings so much to the podcast.
Yeah, he does. Really some great takes on UCF in the group of five, but we won't have that this week, unfortunately.
No, I will be substituting for him today with all the group of five hot takes. So don't worry about that.
Okay. Ohio State destroys Nebraska. What does it say about both teams?
It says a part of it's good. I hate to stick in this. Every time we play a team, before the game, Nebraska, they're a good team. We'll be able to see where Ohio State Ohio State always loses to a Big Ten West team like this. They're going to lose. Then we destroy them by 40 points. It's like, oh, well, Nebraska wasn't very good. Cincinnati's probably better than them. It's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable.
That's not true. I didn't say that. I said Ohio State's going by 50 because Nebraska sucks.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying.
Mike.
Yeah, Nebraska's not a very good football team. I think it's pretty obvious. Ohio State was just 10 times better. Nebraska's garbage. Just this game doesn't really say much about either team. We knew Nebraska wasn't going to be very good, and we knew Ohio State was going to absolutely destroy them. Ohio State's defense looks pretty good, although Martinez can't throw a football. So it's kind of hard to win if you can't throw a football. But a good win for Ohio State. Terrible loss for Nebraska.
I'm glad we're not playing down to our competition. We've had that problem in years past. But the fact that we are not only beating everybody we face, but handily beating them is a good sign.
No, it isn't a good sign because this happens every year. They destroy the bad teams early, and once they get into the middle of the season, then they start playing down to people.
No,
that's what happened last year. They beat Rutgers by an Oregon State by like 40, and they destroyed TCU, and then after that it went downhill.
Nope, you're wrong.
So you're telling me they didn't destroy Rutgers last year? They barely beat them?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that this year's different.
Well, we'll see. It seems different.
Utter domination on all three sides of the football.
It does seem like it's different, but we've seen this before.
No.
This game told me nothing about either team. I knew Ohio State was pretty good. I still can't tell how they are because they haven't played anybody. And I knew Nebraska sucked, and they're the worst team in the Big Ten West. So that was my conclusion after that.
They're
terrible, and
they're the second worst team in the West. They're ahead of Illinois slightly.
No. Martinez is awful. He may have been the most overrated player in the country coming into the season. Just embarrassing.
Listen, he still has a shot at the Heisman. It's an outside shot, but he still got a shot.
All right, let's calm down. Ohio State, I guess they're pretty good, but we'll see what happens. And they play another crappy team this week, so embarrassing schedule from Ohio State. Okay. Michigan State holds on to beat upset. Just upset. Looking for an upset. There was Indiana. Tom Allen had a great game plan coming into this game. What does it say about Michigan State?
I don't think you can get much from this game because Michigan State has been doing this for years. They usually win most of the games, and they win them all by 3 points every time. Every single game is close.
Like the Seahawks.
Sure, they're like the Seahawks. Every single game is close. So it doesn't matter if it's a good team or a bad team. You can't get much from this game.
Yes, that is exactly right. Being a Michigan State football fan will take at least 5 years off your life because every single game, it's stressful. Every single game goes down to the final minute. It could be playing frickin' Rutgers. It could be playing Ohio State. It doesn't matter. It goes down to the final minute every time. Just like in 2015 where we barely beat Rutgers and still made the playoff. But back to this game, I got to give Indiana credit. They're a very good football team. Their defense is garbage, but they got a really good offense. And their quarterback, Penix, he's elite. He was making all the he reminded me of Bryce Love from last year. He was making all the throws. I think.
Can we go back to the first podcast of the year when you said Tom Allen should be fired for playing him over Peyton Ramsey?
Well, I was wrong. I admit I was wrong. Ramsey sucks. I had it backwards. Ramsey's awful, and Penix is really good. I thought Indiana completely outcoached Michigan State on the defensive side for Michigan State. I mean, Mike DeBoer, the offensive coordinator for Indiana, was picking apart our defense. Just the same exact play over and over again. It was a short bubble screen. And right now, we're missing, our secondary is not what it was last year. We're really missing Justin Lane. We don't have a big corner now. We have two small corners on the outside. We could have really used Justin Lane this year. And Indiana's big wide receivers gave us problems the entire game. But you got to give Penix credit for putting it right on the receivers pretty much every time. And now the Michigan State side of things, I thought our defense was terrible, although I thought Indiana had a great game plan. I think it's a fluke. I'm not 100% sure. Sometimes great defenses have a bad game. Like last year against Utah State, we had a terrible game. So I'm hoping that was the case. Offensively, we were great. Brian Lewerke playing like a top 3 quarterback in the Big Ten. Like I said at the start of the season, that final drive was just majestic. That rolling out to his left, making an impossible throw across the grain to Darryl Stewart, who is the Big Ten's leading receiver right now. Just unbelievable. He's been amazing. The offense has been pretty good. Still can't run the ball, but we can never run the ball. So, yeah, I don't know what to make of this game. I'm just happy we won it, to be honest, because it seems like we never win close games.
And you also have to remember you have to take it with a grain of salt because it is a huge rivalry game.
Yep, the old brass platoon is back.
Brass platoon.
That's right, it's back.
I think a lot of this was Michigan State looking ahead to the game against Ohio State this week. But
what are you talking about? It's a big rivalry game.
The old brass platoon.
Calm down.
It's so big. Michigan State beats the series by 30 wins, 45-15.
I've been saying it all year, and I said it all last year. I'll take Michigan State's offense over Michigan State's defense any day of the week. Michigan State's defense is a joke. It is terrible. It's a disgrace. Michigan State should be removed from the Big Ten for how bad their defense is.
Talk about bad defenses. How about the one in Ann Arbor?
I'm sorry.
It's god awful.
Michigan State defense choked in all the big moments. Every big moment they choke. The offense always comes through in all the big moments. So that's what I think out of this game more than anything else. But the score was more. How close it was more just them looking ahead. And Tom Allen, great game plan coming into this game.
No, I mean, Indiana's going to cause some issues. I think they're going to beat Michigan second and final game of the year. They are the better football team. I think Chris.
I agree.
I think even Chris would say that.
Yeah.
But for the Tom Allen choke could come to effect. What is he, like 0-12 against ranked teams?
Well, he never won as an underdog.
He's so bad.
Won a game as an underdog.
He's so bad.
That would be tough for him to win the Michigan game. Never won it as an underdog.
Exactly, because he's terrible. Indiana's so bad against teams they're not supposed to beat. It's like crazy. But they're like, you see their record against teams not named Michigan State, Penn State, Michigan, and Ohio State. They're way above 500. It's crazy. But no, I think Indiana's going to be good. I think they'll make a bowl game this year. Although I've said that the past 2 years and they haven't.
All right, let's move on. Michigan handled Rutgers. Reaction.
Yeah. Again, it's the Jim Harbaugh special. Beat Rutgers by 1,000,000 points. I think we're going to lose next week. Who do they play next week, Chris?
Iowa.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely a loss. It gets Michigan fans back into it. Oh, our offense looks fixed. We look great. Yeah, well, it turns out it's Rutgers, and it's the Jim Harbaugh special. So, big loss next week for Michigan.
Michigan looked like complete garbage in this game. I mean, you can look at the score all you want. This is the University of Rutgers that they were playing, or Rutgers University, or what the hell it's called.
They don't even have a head coach.
They aren't even a Division I program. I mean, they are. I can't believe I picked them to win. The funny part was Rutgers played really well. They played really well and still lost by 52 points. Let's go over Michigan's offensive stats. Really just amazing what they did against this terrific Rutgers defense. Of course, they held Archer Stikowski at 134 yards passing. That's embarrassing by Michigan. Shea Patterson was god-awful once again. Another interception. Another turnover. He's not good. He's awful. They couldn't run the football. They only got 141 yards rushing against Rutgers. They can't pass it. They can't run it. They're awful. Although they are good enough to beat Iowa this week. I will concede that.
I agree with you, Mike. A little bit of a running game is a little concerning, but Patterson, both times, he looked pretty good. Joe Milton actually looked pretty good as well. That's my guy there, Joe Milton. Great game from him.
What did he go 1 for? What did he go 1 for 1?
He was 3 for 4. He threw a touchdown and ran for 1.
I don't give a shit.
Okay.
You hear that? You hear that, Chris's colleges?
Shea Patterson ran for 3 touchdowns.
Oh my God! And Shea Patterson's absolutely awful.
Ran for 3 touchdowns. Good game for him. But I agree with Luke. This is the Jim Harbaugh special. Beat Rutgers by 52 points, and they're going to get throttled by Iowa. Absolutely throttled. It's going to get beat down for the ages this week. I have no confidence going into that game, but we'll get to that later.
Well, if you go by the transitive property, Michigan beat Rutgers by more than Iowa did, so I'm going to take Michigan in that game. Just a sneak peek.
I beat by more than Michigan did. So.
Well, yeah. Well, Iowa's also scored 0 points in conference play this year and have let up 82 in 2 games.
What?
Rutgers.
Oh, I thought you said Iowa.
He did say Iowa.
On the bright side, they scored just as many conference points as Maryland this year.
Yep.
How about Chris Ash?
Penn State annihilates Maryland. What does it say about both teams?
I think Penn State's better than what people think, and I think Maryland is pulled the same thing they've pulled the last 3 years, and they just start off so hot and everybody loves them, and then they're just not good. They play an actual team and they go down the drain.
Are you kidding me? I take absolutely nothing out of this game. Penn State does this to Maryland every single year. See, Maryland hasn't scored a touchdown against Penn State in like 4 years. They are complete. It
was a big rivalry game, Mike.
No, actually, Rutgers Penn State's a big rivalry. This isn't a big rivalry.
Maryland Penn State, huge rivalry.
No, not at all. James
Penn
Franklin
State leads the series 40-2.
Yeah, Maryland is complete and utter garbage. They have nothing at quarterback. If Maryland cannot run the football, they can't beat anybody if they can't run the football. Going back to last year with Kasim Hill at quarterback, that was the only time they could win. And if teams stopped the run, they couldn't do anything on them. Maryland's garbage. Penn State, they're as good as I thought they would be. I think number 12 in the rankings, perfect for them. This is exactly what they do against Maryland every year. Yeah, Penn State's good. Maryland is going to lose out.
Penn State, yeah, I agree with you. Penn State's a good team, but this is the classic Maryland. I brought it into them. I brought into the Josh Jackson hype, and they suck.
If you you know you're bad when you get benched for Tyrone Pigram. You know you're bad.
Yeah, that was bad. So, tough loss for Maryland. I don't see them bouncing back. 4-8 for them.
4-8's the ceiling. Are you kidding me?
Oh, all right. Who should be the number one team in the country?
Ohio State.
Ohio State.
I think if you don't look at the rankings coming into this year and you take out everything from last year, I think Ohio State has been the most impressive team this year. They've had a great offense, a great defense, and their special teams has been fantastic.
Yeah, Ohio State's played nobody. Cincinnati sucks. They're getting destroyed by UCF this week. The best team they played is FAU. I mean, let's be honest with ourselves here.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, Indiana's a good team, but they didn't play Indiana when they had Penix in the game. It wouldn't have made a big difference, although Indiana would have been able to score the ball a little bit more. Might have been a little closer. Although I do think they're the number one team right now, just based off everybody else. Alabama, uninspiring win against South Carolina. Played like garbage against what FCS team they played this week. I mean, they play nobody every week. Mercer, yeah. They play nobody every week. No. Furman. They played Furman. They actually had a doubleheader against Furman and Mercer this week.
They play at A&M next week.
Yep, I know. They play at Alabama A&M next week.
The fact that Texas A&M is ranked is a joke. It's an absolute
such a joke.
What are you talking about? It's ridiculous.
Number two, I got to go with Alabama. Number 3, Clemson. 4, LSU. 5, Georgia.
All right. So, I think Alabama's the best team in the country, but they haven't played anybody yet. So,
they played Mercer last week, and they're playing Alabama A&M next week.
If I were making my rankings right now, let's see. I think I had LSU number 1. If I were making my rankings. Go ahead and they went at
That's ridiculous.
I think Auburn would be a close second. That's 2 big wins far.
LSU is the shittier version of Oklahoma. They both have no defenses, and they both have great offenses.
But I would rank teams like this: LSU, Auburn, Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia. No, Georgia number 4. My top 4 teams would all be SEC teams. Ohio State 5.
Wait, where's A&M in there?
No, they got to climb. And then let's see. Oklahoma 6, and then Clemson 7. I don't think Clemson's very good.
I'm not gonna lie, Chris. I think I agree with you having Clemson very low. If I was to finish mine out, it'd be Ohio State, LSU, Alabama, Georgia, and then probably Oklahoma, Boise State, and Clemson. Boise State's a good team. They're undefeated.
That just came out of nowhere.
SMU's a close 9.
Actually, I have Appalachian State in my top 10.
Oh, yeah, they're undefeated, too. I don't have a bias towards Power 5. I think they all play equally good opponents. It's like in the NFL. If all these guys are good enough to be playing D1 football, they're really good players.
Here's the problem with Clemson. I mean, we could knock on them all we want, but they're looking ahead to the playoff already. They literally don't give a shit anymore. They're like LeBron with the Cavs. They just don't give a shit about the regular season. They'll squeak by every game and then destroy people when it actually matters.
I don't think if they went out, and obviously this depends on what other teams do, but if they're a more qualified team, they should not make the playoff. I don't care.
No, it's about putting the best 4 teams in.
No, their schedule sucks, and they're not very good.
I know what you're saying. But a 12-0 conference, you can't keep a 12-0 conference champ out.
Well,
unless they're viable.
12-0 Ohio State, 12-0 Alabama. Okay, yeah. 12-0 Oklahoma, and I don't know, 11-1 LSU.
You have to go with the 4-12-0 conference champ.
Well, Chris, I mean, the fact that Clemson beat a just unbelievable Texas A&M team that is top 4 in the country means that they have to get in.
What?
A&M beat Clemson beat a top 5 Texas A&M team.
That's a good point, but they're not there yet.
And they will be they will have a great win over Wake Forest in the next coming weeks.
A&M, either A&M or Missouri will make the playoff. I will say that now. All right, ready to move on? Okay. Wisconsin takes care of business against Northwestern 24-15. Iowa handles Middle Tennessee 48-3. And Minnesota beats Purdue 38-31. Reactions to these games?
I think Wisconsin is a really good team. I think they're going to challenge for the Big Ten. Obviously, I think they're going to win the Big Ten West, but I think they're going to give Ohio State or whoever comes out of the Big Ten East a real good challenge. And Minnesota keeps sneaking by. I don't know how they do it. It must be the what's his face? The PJ Fleck special.
The PJ Fleck effect.
Yeah, the PJ Fleck effect. Because I swear to God, they win every single game by 1 point. They go down and they come back. But here's the problem with Minnesota is they play too many rivalry games. They have four of their conference games are rivalry games. Half their conference games, and those are 50-50 toss-ups. So it's going to be hard for them to do anything.
I've never heard that one before.
What? They do?
That's like saying every MAC team is screwed because every other MAC team that they play is a rivalry game.
Minnesota plays Iowa for the Floyd of Rosedale. Minnesota plays Michigan for the Little Brown Jug.
They don't play them this year.
They play Nebraska for the $5 bits of broken chair trophy. They play Penn State for the Governor's Victory Bell. So it's just they have too many rivalry games.
Yeah, well,
they play Wisconsin for Paul Bunyan's ass.
Yeah, well, let's look at Miami of Ohio. They've got Ohio, Toledo, Kent State, Bowling Green. Who else? I'm missing like 4 of them, but they have what?
Ohio State?
No, not a rivalry.
Big rivalry.
Mount Union, throw them in there. They have 100 rivalries in the state of Ohio.
Nope. No, they don't. That's just not true.
All right. Wisconsin didn't look very good. I think they'll be okay. I think Michigan State will give them a run for their money in 2 weeks. That'll be the big game for them. I mean, Northwestern's defense really made it hard on them, but I mean, their offense had no chance on scoring on Wisconsin, and they did late once they put in Aiden Smith, but it was too late. We're not going to go into Pat Fitzgerald blowing the game, but my gosh, that was bad. Iowa, Middle Tennessee's awful. Iowa beat them. Okay, whatever. Who cares? Minnesota, the score was a lot closer than the game was. Minnesota dominated the football game. Tanner Morgan started like 20 for 21. He's top 5 quarterback in the Big Ten. I'd take him over Shea Patterson any day. They run the ball. They're very balanced. PJ Fleck, great coach. Minnesota's going to challenge for that Big Ten West title.
Oh, that is absurd. Wisconsin, it's been a little bit of a letdown after the big win last weekend. Get the job done. That's all that matters. Iowa, what a win for Iowa. Middle Tennessee's a really good team. Great win for Iowa. And, terrible win for Minnesota. They suck. Not a good team.
Yeah, Purdue is screwed. They might go 1-11 this year.
They're terrible. All right. Winners and losers from this week.
Let's see. Well, my winner obviously is one of my winners is Joe Burrell.
On a bye week?
Even on a bye week, he's a winner. He's probably pulling all the checks. And my other winner is going to be SMU. SMU 5-0, ranked for the first time since their huge scandal in the 80s or the 90s. So good for SMU bringing the program back, and now they're ranked. And my loser this week has to be Michigan. Because they have to play Iowa, and they're going to so
My winners of the week are the Big Ten refs for actually calling leverage on that final field goal attempt. I was shocked that they called it, but they called it right. So congratulations to the Big Ten referees, doing a great job. My loser of the week is North Carolina for going for two there is absolutely ridiculous. I don't know what the hell they were doing.
No,
it's a joke.
They don't even have half the talent clubs they had. They would have destroyed it in overtime.
They're at home.
I agree with it. I might not have agreed with the play call, but I agreed with the...
Yeah, the play call goes into it. The play call was just disastrous. It had absolutely no chance of working. A short side option with your quarterback. I mean, how stupid of a play call do you have against the fastest defense in the country? Let's run a lateral play on the goal line. That makes a lot of sense. No, it doesn't. It was a ridiculous play call. They should have kicked the extra point, and they should have played for overtime. They had the momentum. And Clemson only put up 21 in the entire game. Their defense was playing well.
Overtime, the game is over. Clemson wins.
The only time I agree with going for two is if the game's like 50-49, and you don't think your defense can stop them. That's the only time I agree with going for two. I mean, it's stupid play call.
What about you score with no time left and you're still down by 2?
Nope, you got to play for overtime.
30-28.
You got to kick the extra point.
Padnar didn't kick the extra point there.
No. Kidding me? Gus Malzahn would have kicked the extra point.
All right. My winner this week is Chris Ash.
I agree. I agree with that. Now he's gone from there. I agree. He might be the winner he might be the winner of the year for getting out of that job.
He gets fired, so he still gets paid.
Oh. And my loser this week is Rutgers for having to pay Chris Ash $9 million.
No, my loser is Greg Schiano for having to take over that job next year.
All right, let's get into the pick. All of us actually had a pretty good week. Not much movement though. We all did pretty well. Mike's still in first place. Let's start with UCF at Cincinnati.
Is the Toledo Bowling Green game this week, or is that next week, Mike?
No, that's next week.
Okay, so that's a huge game. See if Toledo can fire off the rocket. But what was the first game, Chris?
UCF at Cincinnati.
I like Fickle. But I think UCF is just the better team, so I'm going to go with them.
Yeah, as you can see, I put a picture, or no, not me. The computer has put a picture of the better program on every slide. So I'm going to take UCF also. Much better team. I think, the last road game was a fluke. I think they'll win easily.
Yeah, I'm just looking ahead here. Really interesting choices here, so we'll get to those. Because these are two Group of 5 teams, my picking against UCF every time doesn't apply here.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
No, UCF. All right, Oklahoma State and Texas Tech.
I think Oklahoma State is actually a really good team this week. Good team this year. I just think that they struggle. I just don't think that they can overcome some of the talent that they have to go against. So I'm going to take Oklahoma State.
Yeah, I mean, Texas Tech has a lot of talent. Cliff Kingsbury did a great job recruiting. I don't know if Oklahoma State can handle that much talent. I'm taking
defensive side.
Exactly. I mean, Texas Tech's really known for their defense. Going back to the basketball team, just great defense. Honestly, I think their basketball team, having 5 out there would be a better defense than having their actual defense out there. But I'm taking Oklahoma State.
Yeah, Texas Tech is screwed. They lost their quarterback, and now they can't score.
Yeah.
And they can't play defense.
Chris, you jinxed him. Ever since you said Aaron Bowman was good, he's gotten hurt every week.
Yeah, he's nasty. But now that he's gone, they can't score. So Oklahoma State in a blowout. All right, Iowa at Michigan.
Iowa by about 1,000,000 points.
Yeah, Iowa's a fraud. Iowa's a fraud. Jim Harbaugh's going to look decent in this game. Michigan's going to blow him out.
That is so ridiculous. All right, first of all, Iowa's the better team. Second of all, this is a game that a lot of people are predicting Michigan to win. Therefore, they're going to lose.
Where's the game?
Ann Arbor.
Yeah, it's a top 25 opponent too. So,
yep. I will take Iowa in one of the biggest blowouts in college football history.
Well, I mean, if you look at the previous, matchups in this game, or for Michigan, Michigan plays well against fraud teams. They played well against Wisconsin last year. Wisconsin was ranked pretty high. Penn State was ranked pretty high. Both were fraudulent teams, and Michigan destroyed them both. I think Iowa's a fraudulent team. Michigan will blow them out.
Playoff team. They're a playoff team.
That's ridiculous.
Okay. TCU at Iowa State.
ooh, I do have a big man crush on. You say TCU? Yeah. I have a big man crush on Matt Campbell, so I'm gonna have to go with Iowa State.
Yep, TCU did a very nice job destroying Kansas last week. Very solid program. As you can see, they are the better program, so is the computer. Iowa State's a good program also. They have a good home field advantage. I'm going to take Gary Patterson in this game. I'm taking TCU.
I've got Iowa State coming off a tough loss to Baylor. They're going to bounce back this week at home. I'll take Iowa State. They're also a more talented team.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
No. All right.
Chris,
What?
if Michigan loses to Iowa, how much longer does Jim Harbaugh have before he's gone?
How much longer does he have a job?
Yeah.
What did you ask?
If Michigan loses to Iowa this week, how much longer does Jim Harbaugh have a job for?
He can have the job as long as he wants. He's a Michigan man.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's what they better think. He go 12 and he still has a job.
Fair enough.
They'll sit him on his golden throne and do whatever the hell he wants.
Yep. All right. Tulane at Army.
Ooh. Well, Army runs that the triple option that's very hard to stop, and Tulane's had a decent year so far this year. I know Mike is very high on Tulane. So, where's the game being played? At Tulane?
No, West Point.
Oh, at West Point? Oh, that changes the whole thing. That is the most intimidating place to play. I'm going to have to go with Army.
Tulane is actually favored in this game. This is easily the hardest pick of the week for me. I could go either way for me, but I am American, so I'm taking the Army. I do appreciate what the Army has done for the U.S. And if you pick against Army, you should be arrested for treason. To be quite honest with you.
But Mike, Tulane's in the American Conference.
Oh, you know what? I'm changing my pick. I'm going with Tulane.
Okay. And this is a really tough one. I've been looking through this. So I did a ton of research on this game, and I came to one conclusion. I'm going to pick Army because Michigan played them.
Okay.
All right. Really, really interesting decision here on the better program. BC at Louisville.
Well, I think both teams really kind of suck. I think the ACC just in general sucks. But where's the game being played?
Louisville.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go with Boston College.
Two garbage programs, but as you can see, the computer really likes Louisville in this matchup. When it comes down to the program states, the computer does take into account that Louisville has had success recently. Boston College didn't even play in a bowl game last year. That's how bad they were. So I'm going to take Louisville. Louisville's the better team.
Down the fact that Boston College has had more college game days than Louisville lately.
Well, every time Clemson plays at Louisville, game day seems to be there.
What's your pick?
I said Louisville.
Oh. I'm taking Boston College. They're a much more talented team, much better program. Louisville is awful.
Louisville is good. They really played Notre Dame tough.
Yeah, really good team. All right. Oh, big rivalry game here. Eastern Michigan and Central Michigan.
Oh, yes, huge rivalry game. It's the MAC game right here. Who would you say it was? Eastern versus Western or Eastern versus Central?
Eastern versus Central.
Ooh, Eastern versus Central. Well, if you look at the standings in the MAC, all three of the Michigan teams are at the top of the West. But I'm going to have to go with Eastern in this game.
That's a very good pick. Chris Creighton is the best coach in the country. What he's done with Eastern Michigan, nobody could do that. Nick Saban couldn't do what he's done at Eastern Michigan. That might be the worst program in the country, and he's taken them to a bowl game last year. That's like their first bowl game in 30 years. And Central Michigan's had a lot of success over the past couple of years, although they are god-awful with Jim frickin' McElwain, who's god-awful. I'm taking Eastern Michigan in a close one. This rivalry games are always close. I think Eastern will barely win, but they'll pull it off.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Eastern Michigan as well because they beat Illinois.
Although Central is a better team than Illinois. That's why it'll be a close game.
All right. Air Force at Navy.
Ooh, it's a big game. I'm going Navy.
Oh, this game. If Navy can pull this off, they can win the Commander-in-Chief's trophy. I don't know when Army plays Air Force, probably later on. Air Force is favored in this game. They are a solid team. Troy Calhoun's been there for like 20 years. Good coach. Ken Nehemiah Tololo really needs a statement win. I'm taking Navy because he's on the hot seat right now. So he needs a big win. I'm taking Navy.
I'm going to go with Air Force in this game. They almost won on the blue field, so they must be pretty good. So I'm taking Air Force. All right. And this is absolutely ridiculous. You have Auburn over Florida Florida over Auburn as a better program.
It was the computer.
Right.
Well, the computer understands that Florida has a better future than Auburn. Auburn is going to fire their coach after the year.
Well, then Michigan get him.
No, Michigan. He's not a Michigan man, so Michigan will hire him.
Right. Auburn at Florida.
I think Florida's defense. It's at Florida. It's in Gainesville, and I think Florida's defense is very good, and it's going to be too much for Auburn. So I'm going to take Florida.
Oh, this one's another tough pick. I think Florida's a fraud. I think Auburn's going to beat them. I'm taking Auburn.
This is going to be a great game. This is maybe the best game so far this year.
Okay, let's calm down.
What about Ohio State versus Pickle?
At Auburn this year. Florida's down to their second string quarterback. Two coaches I really like here. But Gus Malzahn has proven time and time and again he is a big-time coach.
No, he really hasn't. He really hasn't. I don't know what he's proved at all.
Against this win, Auburn is a clear contender for the playoff. They're a great team. I like Auburn this game. All right, Illinois and Minnesota.
Oh, this must since Minnesota's playing this game, it must be a rivalry game. So, but I'm going to go with Minnesota to squeak it out at the end.
Yeah. Illinois absolutely blew the doors off of Minnesota last year in Champaign. It was really Lovey. I think that was Lovey Smith's only win in his tenure at Illinois. But Minnesota's much improved. They found their quarterback. I think Minnesota will win. Yeah, very close game, like you said, Luke, because Minnesota cannot beat teams by more than 7 points. I'm going to go with 56-49, Minnesota.
I want to add, Auburn's very similar to Texas A&M in the fact that they might be able to lose 2 games and still get in the playoff. Their schedule is almost as hard as A&M's.
No, that's just not going to happen.
It's very close to being as hard as A&M.
They don't have the brand recognition.
Alabama on the schedule.
They don't have the brand recognition.
Yes, they do.
Nope.
They absolutely do.
Nope.
All right. Let's see here. Easy pick for me. I'm going to go with Illinois. I really like what Lovey Smith's done there. Brandon Peters, big-time quarterback. And, I've been trashing on Minnesota all year, and one of these times they're going to lose. So give me Illinois.
I hope they go 12-0.
Okay. Baylor at Kansas State.
Ooh, another good game here. Kansas State, always a tough team. And it's always a tough place to play. But Matt Rule, I think, is gonna lead the Bears to a victory. Matt Rule just got an extension too. Baylor undefeated. I'm taking Baylor.
Ooh, you know what? This is another tough game to pick. I could see either team winning it. Chris Kleiman, best coach in the Big 12 right now. What he's done with Kansas State, unbelievable. They beat a crappy SEC team, so I don't know what to say about that. Baylor, big win over Iowa State last week. I'm going to go with Baylor.
Yeah, this is a very easy pick for me. Baylor, after coming off a big win, due for a letdown. Kansas State, after coming off a tough loss, due for a bounce back. So give me Kansas State. All right. Northwestern at Nebraska.
Ooh, this isn't a rivalry game, even though we're getting into the Big Ten trophy season. Northwestern and Nebraska. It's not a tough matchup because both teams I don't think are very good. But if I had to choose, I do like Pat Fitzgerald. I think he's one of the best coaches in the Big Ten. But I'm going to have to go with Nebraska.
Another tough game. Really, I don't know. Whoever chose these picks is a genius because all these games are tough. Not sure I'm going to pick in this one. I want to pick.
You're not picking this one? All right, automatic.
That's a no pick right there.
Yeah.
Well, I like both teams a lot. Well, no. Let me rephrase what I just said. I like Northwestern a lot. I like Pat Fitzgerald a lot. He's a very good coach. I just not sure about the talent there. The offense looked good against Wisconsin in the final couple drives. Maybe they found something. I think Nebraska's 7-point favorites. I think they'll win like 10-7. Give me Nebraska.
Yeah, no, Nebraska's going to bounce back here. I don't think they're very good, but I think Northwestern's really, really bad. So I'm going to take Nebraska. Okay, Michigan State at Ohio State.
Since it's in the shoe, and even if it wasn't in the shoe, Ohio State's going to win. And I don't think it's going to be that close.
Well, last year, as you recall, it was 7-6 deep into the third quarter. I think we both acknowledged this is not the same Ohio State team. The offense last year was very good, but so far this year it's been a lot better. Michigan State secondary is a little suspect, which isn't a good thing. The pass rush, a little suspect, not a good thing. But they will find a way to cover this game, and this will be a field goal game in the fourth quarter. I'm saying that right now. It's going to be a field goal game in the fourth quarter. They will find a way to keep this game close, and who knows? We might get another D'Antonio miracle, but I can't pick against Ohio State right now. I'm taking Ohio State.
Ohio State, an absolute blowout. Michigan State sucks. Okay. Pittsburgh at Duke.
This is just a joke of a game. Why are we picking ACC games in the first place?
Well, this is a battle for the Coastal.
I'll go with that. I don't care. I'll go with that.
We got two of the greatest coaches at their schools, at their respective schools. I mean, my gosh. Do you have to get me started with Pat Narduzzi? This guy, they should rename him Pat Narwizard. The things he's done at Pitt. I mean, he is unbelievable. Oh my God, he's so good. I want to be on his coaching staff. I might go ask him because the things he's doing at Pitt are so revolutionary. It's insane. I mean,
this is the same coach that Mike had was
shut up. We don't talk about that. As for David Cutcliffe, great coach. Their quarterback, better than Daniel Jones. So,
all right,
he is. I'm going to take Pitt because Pat Narwizard is a great coach.
Pitt coming up a really, really great win, 17-14 over Delaware at home.
Delaware's good. Delaware's they're going to be a player in the Colonial Athletic this year.
Really, really great win for Delaware for Pitt there. Delaware lost to Delaware State.
No, they didn't. They beat
North Dakota State by 3 points.
Well, North Dakota State will be a top 25 team in the FBS.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Let's see. I'm going to go with Pitt. More talent. Duke sucks.
More talent. That's really saying a lot.
Okay.
Really saying a lot about these programs.
What a pick here by the computer, picking Cal over Oregon as the better program.
They are right now.
Yeah. All right. Cal at Oregon.
Cal's defense is going to show up after last week's letdown, and they're going to win. I'm taking Cal.
Now, I just would not be shocked if Cal won this football game. The Oregon choke might be in full effect. The fact this game is on national television makes the choke effect really go like 1,000,000% more. But I think Oregon will win. Even though they aren't the better program, I think they'll win this game.
Oh, boy. The Oregon choke's going to be there. Cal keeps this close. Oregon gags it at the end. I'll take Cal. Bouncing back after a tough loss.
Okay.
All right.
Chris, I remember a certain time when I got a text this last week saying, and I quote, this text, I believe I think it was from you. And I quote, this text said, Cal sucks.
Well,
yeah,
he definitely said that.
Hey, Luke, Cal sucks was the text I got.
Well, listen, Oregon is even worse, so that's why I'm taking Cal. I don't even have Oregon in my top 25 right now.
How about, speaking of Oregon, how about Oregon State almost pulling off the upset? Oh.
Yeah, they've
got a good coach. He's an Oregon State fan.
Beat Stanford.
What? Listen. Oregon State was down 21 points, and they almost won the game. They are better. Stanford's complete garbage. Oregon State's a better. If we were doing this, Oregon State would be the better program over Stanford. If we were doing this.
Okay, we've gone over the edge.
Listen, the computer.
We've gone over the edge.
You can't argue with the computer. You can't argue with the computer. You've said that before.
Listen, only I have access to the computer program that produces Power Rankings.
Well, I made my own program. It's like 20 pages long of code.
Nope.
It takes everything into effect. I wrote it on App Lab. It's great.
Okay. Anything else to add?
Yeah. Yep. Iowa is going to get absolutely destroyed by the Wolverines, and I will be right next week, and you guys will be wrong.
I give Michigan a 0% chance.
Iowa is garbage, complete garbage.
It doesn't matter. They're a ranked team. Michigan is not going to beat them.
Yes, they will. They will blow them out. They will blow the doors off of Iowa.
I am picking Iowa 48-10.
I don't even know if Iowa could score 48 points in a game.
Well, Michigan's defense will find a way to allow. Well, we didn't know Ohio State's offense has scored 63 points until last year. So,
Yeah, they definitely won't score 63 this week. They might score 20.
Oh, the Ohio State pick. Yeah, I'm going to go 51-6 Ohio State in that game.
I'm going 27-24 Ohio State.
Yeah, if you think Michigan State scoring 24 points, that's ridiculous.
My lock of the week is Michigan State covering the 21.5. That's my lock of the week.
My lock of the week is Iowa win by 30-plus points.
Well, that's not really a lock. That's a hope.
That's a lock. Not a hope. I'm rooting for Michigan.
No, you're not. You want Michigan to lose.
No, I don't.
You're more of an Iowa fan than you are a Michigan fan. Are you kidding
That
me?
is ridiculous. It's not like in the NCAA tournament when Alex won Nevada to win the championship over Michigan.
Yeah, well, Alex is more of a Nevada fan than he is a Michigan fan. I think we all know that.
We need to put the Nevada logo back on the pedal slide.
No, that's for the basketball. I can't wait. I can't wait what his team will be this year. We'll see.
Okay, anything else?
No.
Yeah. Yes. My lock of the week is going to be Rutgers plus 13 and take the money line Rutgers straight
Oh
up over
my
Maryland.
gosh.
Over who? Who they play?
Maryland.
Oh, good pick.
Oh, no.
And take the under. The over-under is 54. Take the under. Take Rutgers with 13 points and take Rutgers plus 390.
Okay.
All right. That is going to do it for the Big Four podcast. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.